What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum. Bob Arum reflects and responds on Shawn Porter's offer that he offered Shawn, and this is what he had to say about the offer and about Shawn Porter. It quotes, "I read someplace that he felt that I insulted him by only offering him $1 million, said Arum during a recent interview with Barbershop Conversations. He says, I'm old-fashioned. I don't know why $1 million would be an insult to anybody. As he continued, he said, he should work a deal with me on upside. I'm not guaranteeing more than $1 million. I'm just not in these times. So that was his counterpunch to Shawn Porter. And Shawn Porter, I don't think that he was just enraged, but he did feel underpaid or lowballed. It came to his last fight against the champion at with the PBC, with the same banner, which was twice as much. Okay, both him and Errol Spence received $2 million to face off on each other. Now, I can understand both sides, because I could see people that if you wanted to defend Bob, you know, of course it would be a pay-per-view. So the upside, which Bob Arum mentioned, would maybe be possibly worth the stretch. Maybe. Because it may make up the money that he did. However, Shawn Porter's already on the pay-per-view platform, and I'm pretty sure he's comparing whatever he made between himself and Errol Spence to something possible with him and Terence Crawford. Now, keep in mind, when Shawn Porter fought Errol Spence, he was a champion. He won't be a champion on this one. He will be challenging the champion. Okay, so I think that's something that people need to keep in mind. Also, I do feel Bob's cheap, but then here's the thing. We don't know if Bob is making these type of offers now because of the coronavirus. Now, I could understand people feeling that he's maybe taking advantage of these times because, hey, it is coronavirus, so therefore I can't pay you. We don't have any money for that. Therefore, we can't pay you what normally you will be worth, or a discounted price or a discounted purse due to the COVID season. Okay, so we don't know that for sure. So we do know that Bob Arum has came out publicly, though, and said that he was overpaying his own fighter, Terence Crawford. And he says he's wasted money on his own fighter, the same fighter that's a three-time king, okay, three-time champion, pound for pound best fighter in the world, regarding of many that think the same thing. And he's admitted that, hey, I'm losing money with him. So if you think Bob Arum, if he feels that he's losing money with the top guy in boxing, which is Terence Crawford, what makes you think he's going to give Shawn Porter more money? You know what I mean? Because it involves Terence Crawford again. So it's for, in his eyes, I think he's trying to shortchange Shawn because he knows he has to pay Terence Crawford a certain amount of money. Why? Because Terence Crawford signed the contract, and you have to pay according to the contract. Once Bob Arum says or decides or tries to pull some, hey, I can't pay you because I'm losing money on you, you're not marketed enough kind of bullshit, therefore, Terence Crawford and his team can go sue Bob Arum, just like Mikey Garcia and all these other fighters that had problems with Bob Arum. So, this really doesn't help. You know, Bob Arum just saying, hey, I'm old-fashioned, what are you going to do? That's basically all he's saying. And by saying that, he's saying that, hey, I won't offer no one else more money than that during these times. You know, but I've heard him go out on record saying, I don't think Shawn Porter, was that last year or the year before? I think it was late 2019 when he came out and said, hey, I won't pay for guys like Showtime Porter. You guys remember that? So that $1 million in Bob's mind, he thinks it's enough. He thinks it's enough. You know, he thinks $1 million is what it used to be back then. He said it himself. He is old school. So if he is old school, it's going to be hard for an old guy like that to change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? That's the saying. And I think Bob Arum is the old dog. I really do. You know, because at the beginning of this article, I thought it was an attempt to make a fight with Shawn Showtime Porter. But at the end of the day, you can't keep blaming Al Heyman for all this shit. Al Heyman might control his own little world, but he controls it very well, people. Bob Arum is that guy that's stating, hey, this is what I'm going to pay you due to me being old-fashioned, due to me feeling that I've overpaid my champion or my fighter. Okay, so he's reluctant to pay his fighter. If it wasn't for his fighter signing a contract, renewing with him, what was a year and a half ago? 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, then he would not pay Terence Crawford the money that he has to pay Terence Crawford. Okay, so really read between the lines. If you listen to what Bob says, I'm losing money on Terence Crawford. He's saying that because he's bitching about the decision to make or sign up that contract. So he's pissing and moaning over paying Terence Crawford. And I think he's trying to make Terence Crawford pay, or anybody that's in Terence Crawford's list of fighters, including Shawn Porter, including Keith Thurman. Because, you know, him and Keith Thurman had words recently about the same shit. You're cheap, Bob. Okay, I can understand if people are on your side. Well, $1 million, not the best time. Well, no. No, I don't really buy into that. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, Bob Arum, I hope he can get the fights made. But then if he can't, I hope those fighters find another promoter that can. No disrespect to Bob. This is not a rant video. This is a video that's just showing Bob Arum is not trying to compromise with anybody for any reason whatsoever, including Shawn Showtime Porter. So if Porter hears this and reads this, this pretty much seals the deal or just deters this possible fight, which is a very good fight. Okay, it's just as good as a fight physically than on paper. I think that those two names will generate a hell of a fight together. Because Shawn Porter ain't going out without a fight. You getting the best of Shawn. Shawn is constantly pressing and forcing a fight with you. That takes balls. That shows you his type of mentality. And in order to pull that off, you have to have some type of physicality, okay? He's a physical fighter. So it would be a great fight, but I'm afraid guys like Bob Arum admitting, hey, I won't do it. This is the way I am. I'm old-fashioned. This fight may never come to fruition. But that leaves you with one thing. What is Terence Crawford going to eventually do about that? He's going to have to do something. Because if he sits around and takes these fights that really nobody wants to see, even if Bob has to pay him, which he's pissed off about, his stock is going to lower. It already has. Think about it. Terence Bud Crawford, between him and Lomachenko, used to be the best pound for pound. Now Canelo got thrown in the mix about 7-8 months ago. Now a lot of people think Canelo Alvarez is the better fighter pound for pound. You see what I'm saying? So but it's due to opposition. He fought Callum Smith, the big mighty giant / Billy Goat, big brother of Liam Beefy Smith. Okay? He was just a lot bigger and a lot stronger. And Canelo took him on. So Canelo's making that reputation, you know, regardless if he's with Oscar De La Hoya or not, still fighting top guys. If Terence Crawford has problems or having problems getting these top guys, he needs to definitely look at his team, because I haven't seen him do it. Yeah, you beat Khan. You made Khan quit. You beat Kell Brook. I think that's spectacular because you knocked out a whole rival. You got these guys thinking about you because you beat them both. That's significant. I get it. But at the end of the day, I don't see him fighting Shawn Porter. And if he wants to fight Shawn Porter, he needs to do something and get out of that contract with Bob Arum. Give back some of that money Bob Arum's been pissing and moaning about. Counterpunch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Bob Arum replying to Shawn Showtime Porter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.